Hello, good afternoon. My name is Heda. I live in Bangkok. I'm a single mom and I have two kids. They're 15 and 11. I have a bit of a sore throat. Okay, so this is going to be. I'm hoping that it's still clear though. Is it? Anyway, I want to talk about some things. But first, I want to tell people where I'm coming from. I'm not a journalist. I'm not a lawyer. Hindi pa ako nagmamarunong. I'm not after fame. When I started my first video, I was talking to the wind. I was just purging. Because when you've been living outside in the Philippines for 22 years, you see so much of the potential of the country to be really progressive. You see the brilliance of the Filipino people, and you also see the stench of the politics. And so when I started my first video, I knew where I was going with it, okay? And so that's why I'm here continuing with it. And then when people tell me, you're so brave, okay, and be careful, you know what, okay, I feel that what I'm doing now is much more important for my kids, for their future. And I talk about what I'm doing with my kids. My kids know what I'm doing, and they know that for me, this is a fight, okay? This is a war. This is a war from our dysfunctional systems and the people who still cling to it, even when, okay, there's so much more lives and families and children's future that is already compromised. And there are still people who don't want to listen to the voice of the masses, and that, okay, is just beyond deplorable for me. Okay, so let's start. I want to start with this. I went to New York Times because recently they have published a very, very long story. The title is Becoming Duterte, the Making of a Philippine Strongman. This is dated March 21. Now, for anybody with a basic high school essay writing class or lesson, you would understand that a story will be remembered by how it started and how it ended. It doesn't matter, okay, what was said in between. Okay, what matters and what people will remember is how you started the story and how you ended the story. So listen to this. This is how the story started. It was written by a Richard Paddock. I don't even know if that's just a pen name or if it's a real name, okay? So this is how it started. President Rodrigo Duterte relishes the image of killer savior. That's the first sentence. And then on the right side of the page, there's a picture of Duterte with an Uzi submachine gun hanging from his neck. That's how the story started. Now, there are so many pages of it, okay? If you go to New York Times, I suggest you do, because you will feel the full impact of what this freaking magazine is trying to do, not to the president, okay, but to the whole country. And I'm going to tell you why later. Now, how it ended, okay, this is how it ended. Senator Trillanes, now a leading critic of Mr. Duterte, has another name for him. Colon, in quotes, mass murderer. Wasn't that Gollum in Lord of the Rings? Okay, now I'm trying to make jokes here, but you know what, okay, I'm pissed and I'm trying to contain it, and I'm trying to channel my anger towards something that would be useful and that would have some positive effect. Because, okay, what this magazine, what this publication is doing to our country is deplorable. And you know what? I'd like to call on government. If anybody can send this to our government, please. Why don't we ban these foreign correspondents from coming into our country? Because they're not painting a good picture. It doesn't matter, okay, whether these things that they're saying is true. What I'm saying is that they are only saying alleged things or opinions of people who are just critics. They are just coming from one camp. That's what we need to see it for what it is, okay? I did not read the whole story, okay, because as I tell you, I'm an English teacher, okay? I teach writing. So I know that, okay, what people will remember is how it started and how it ended. And that's how it started and that's how it ended. Read the story. Read the full story if you want to read the full story. You will see another picture of Duterte with another gun. Okay, that's how he's portrayed. Okay, so that's just one article. Now, why do I say in my posts that the New York Times has been attacking us relentlessly, viciously, okay, and with malice, okay? Now, let me tell you, when you go into this article, there will be links, okay, to related articles. Listen to the titles. September, Rodrigo Duterte's most contentious quotations. December, they are slaughtering us like animals. This is supposed to be from, I think, a victim. It's supposed to be a victim from in the EJK issue. And then in February, Laila de Lima, critic of Duterte, is arrested in the Philippines. Now, you don't need to read the stories. Nowadays, if you are knowledgeable about how people are reading online media, they only read headlines. There is such a thing now, it's a concept where people don't really go in depth anymore. They just skim through the surface, and then, okay, they feel like they have a knowledge, and they would go out into the world and feel empowered and feel confident enough to talk about an issue even when they haven't read the story and they've just read the headlines. So that is how we are pictured outside. That is how this president, the highest office in the land, that is how he is projected out there. All right. Let's say that they were confused during the campaign time. But these articles, okay, came out when he was already elected. And then they did not say on the headlines that de Lima was convicted or was taken into custody because of her affiliation with drugs. There was nothing about that on the headline. But, okay, it is very telling, and it will be embedded in people's memory because the phrase says, critic of Duterte. So, put those three pieces of information together. De Lima, critic of Duterte, she's arrested. What does that say? There's nothing about her drug affiliation there. So, what is the intention? So, ask yourself, is this publication, do they simply employ stupid journalists, or is there something feeding into the system? Because there is nothing on that page about the hope of the Filipino people, about how Duterte is received, okay, when he goes into his state visits, not just by the Filipino people, but how he is received warmly by other leaders of other states. There is no talk about the programs that are going on in the Philippines, our projects to modernize our agriculture, our projects to conserve and try to protect our environment. Nothing about how we protect our women under the DSWD. Nothing. So, we get back to this. Okay? My message to LP supporters is this. Perhaps you have been duped into believing because there was, okay, a time when I felt like I was being recruited, okay, by one of these LP supporters. And then she was trying, okay, to feed my ego, so to speak, telling me that, okay, you're so smart and this and that, okay, and then I have, okay, a lot of respect for you and all that, okay. And then I wanted to say that, you know what, so maybe you need to go, okay, find somebody else to kind of you know, boost, okay, in terms of their ego, because that's not going to work with me. Okay, I don't need it. Okay, now maybe you have been fed to this idea, because this is what I'm getting, okay, from other LP supporters who've called me bitch and who've called me gaga, okay. They seem to believe that they are the knowledgeable, they are the well-traveled, okay, and they're the cultured lot. And then the Duterte supporters are just supposed to be zombies, okay, who rant away without knowing what they're talking about, and then who just curse. You know what? Okay, go outside your groups. Go out there and post, okay, and invite, okay, other camps, because you will see, okay, each camp will have people who just don't know how to be decent in terms of their discourse. Every single camp has. Okay, don't delude yourself that it's just the Duterte supporters. Do not. Okay, now my call, okay, to our media, because I'm frustrated and I'm disappointed. You know what? Okay, why are the bloggers the one who are working? And then where are the journalists? Okay, what are you doing? You're just sitting in your asses there, okay, every day, and then you don't see that some international media, some international publications are maligning us, okay, writing malicious intent about our president, because you know what, that reflects on us, because he is the highest, okay, he sits at the highest office in the land, okay, he represents us, and it's not true, okay. The things that are being depicted there is not the whole story. You have a foreign person going into a country, did not understand, okay, how we were 300 years under Spanish rule, 50 under the Americans, 3 under the Japanese. Okay, no one understands that as much as we do. But how come our journalists and our writers are not saying anything about what's going on in our country? Because you're the one who understands what our culture is, and what is happening there, what is truly happening. Why is nobody writing that? Okay, let's say there's maybe 1, 2, or 3 people, okay, in our publications, in our mainstream publications, are writing it. It's insane. It's deplorable for us as a people. What are we doing with ourselves? It's self-sabotage. And you know what I'm really disappointed is this. To a lot of LP supporters who still refuse, okay, to see this for what it is, okay. This you fed into this when you blocked, okay, Duterte supporters who are trying to have some decent, respectful discussions with you. When you unfollowed our posts, even though we were not, okay, making tirades, we were just sharing, okay, the positive projects and the positive things that we believe in. They were just potentials during the campaign time. They are now tangible projects under this government. You are still not listening. When you are doing that, you're feeding into the destruction of the image of the Filipino people. Now, don't tell me I'm just overacting, because I'm the one here who has to deal with foreign colleagues of mine who post on my Facebook wall. I'm not even free to post on my Facebook wall now about things that I feel about my country, because I am bound to have a comment asking me questions. How does that fare with the EJ case? This is what we're doing. We're doing this. We are doing this to our country. Okay, now my call, okay, to my own Catholic leaders in my own church, because I'm a Catholic, I go to church, okay, I still respect my Catholic faith. My call is, please, okay, I know and I understand where you're coming from. You also want to protect your flock. You don't want us to go astray. Yes, we're there. Okay, however, find, okay, some way to work with this government so you can take care of your flock better, because we have women in urban and rural Philippines that are suffering. They are suffering because they cannot curb their number of children. They don't know how. They don't have access. Population control is key, so you can feed them, you can clothe your children, you can send them to school, you can have shelter for them. Those are very basic facts. We don't need, okay, to have a degree in theology or a PhD in economics, okay, to learn these things. Come on! It irritates me to no end. Do you know why? Must all OFWs or bloggers in the Philippines, must we all do this? Just us. And the people who are paying attention in the blogs, in the discussion forums, okay? Is it just up to us? Because I hate it when people say, I don't want to talk about politics. This is not politics we're talking about. We're talking about politics, okay, when before campaign time we're choosing platforms and we're choosing who to vote for. That's politics. And when we are trying to determine who's real, who's sincere, and who's a liar, that's politics. Now, these are policies that govern and that are going to have long-term effects towards self-sufficiency, towards towards empowering the people, towards empowering especially our women. Look, I am trying my best, okay, not to rant, okay, and discuss about facts. But you know what, okay, we supporters of Duterte understand when he says putang ina. Because you know what, okay, it feels good to do that. You know why? Because it's more than that. You know what, if OFWs, okay, let their anger out, okay, you don't know, you have not seen crazy, okay, in your life. I tell you that, okay. We're trying to put this into better perspective. We're working here, we're working our asses off, okay, for our children, because we cannot provide the things that we can provide to them compared to when we're working here, when we're working back home. Listen to this. Thailand, okay, we are a very similar country with Philippines, but here food is cheap. You can have a meal for 50 pesos, 70 pesos. That's a full meal with drinks. Utility bills are subsidized by the government. They're owned by the government, okay? You can buy a car with as low as 5,000 baht. That's maybe 7,000 pesos a month. You can do that, okay? Life is easy, life is convenient, their infrastructure is in place. You can drive from the north to the south of Thailand, from tip to tip of the country, and the highway is going to be the same. And they're well maintained. So how can they do that? They can do that because when you go downtown in Thailand, in downtown Bangkok, every 5th or every 7th person you're going to meet on the street is going to be a foreigner. Why are they here? They're investing money. They're pouring millions of money into this country. We're not getting any of that. Do you know that, okay, Thailand has probably, in this region, has probably one of the most successful medical tourism business. They have like 3 big hospitals, okay, that employ Filipino nurses. What do the Filipino nurses do? Okay, they cannot, okay, they cannot do hands-on job, hands-on nursing work, because they have to pass a licensure exam here, and the licensure exam is in Thai. What the Filipino nurses do is, okay, they talk and they answer queries from foreign patients, and the foreign patients flock to Thailand for all kinds of procedures. Do you know where they got that model from? The medical tourism? that's pouring so much money into the country that employs Filipino nurses. There's one hospital with 70 nurses and doctors from the Philippines. They got that model from St. Luke's. We started it. But we can't get our act together as a country. Okay? That's our problem. Okay. What I'm just hoping to do with these videos, you know, I don't even watch, okay, these videos after I'm done with them because I don't like listening to myself, okay? Let's just get that straight. Now, there are some bloggers, okay, in our country, in the Philippines, okay, that are also kind of riding on these issues. Please separate me from them because this is not about that. You know what? We're OFWs are busy people, but we make time because this means something for our children, for the future of our country, because we are sick of being called the sick brother of Asia. That's the name that have been put on us. New York Times is just painting, okay, us as a people who supported, okay, a gunman. That's what it is saying. And you know, I know you know, that's not the whole story to it, okay? It's not even the story. Have these people been listening to Duterte's speeches? See, this is what's happening, and this is the result when journalists decontextualize, okay, stories. What does that mean? Now, some of us just spew these words out with understanding it. Decontextualization. They cut and paste only one part of a video, only one part of what he said, and then they paint their whole story around that. No, according to how they want the story to run. At decontextualization, not saying where did this happen, who was the audience, who was he talking to when he said this, what did he mean exactly by this. There's nothing about that. It's just about selling newspapers. So you know what, okay, I've already said this on my wall. Please do not tag me, okay, do not mention my name if it has anything to do with Philstar, Inquirer, Rappler, ABS-CBN, GMA. I don't want to have anything to do with them. Okay, if it's from Huffington Post has been trying to put out some positive stories, okay, about our country. Read them, okay? CNN International, I've seen some positive things. I think Manila Standard or Manila Times, okay, I have seen some articles. But these are what? 2, 3, 4 people who are writing. Where's the rest of our media? Where's the rest of our journalists? What's happening? Anyway, it is frustrating. But you know what? Okay, I'm not going to be focusing on that. But I need to be talking about this because, okay, no one's talking about it. We need to talk about these things. We need to name them for what they are. And these people who are doing things that are deplorable, they need to be called out. Now, politicians who are riding on the Duterte presidency right now, please, okay, if you are just there so that you can ensure, okay, that the people are going to vote for your ass, okay, during next election time, we are not stupid. Please, okay? Now, so what can we do about it, okay, as individual people? There are so many things we can do about it, okay? One, write letters to whichever agency, whichever institution you feel needs to know about what, okay, is actually happening in our country. On the website, I've already got, okay, a letter. I posted, okay, a letter there. Please scroll down. I know that I have diarrhea of the keyboard a lot of times, but because you know what, I'm just giving a voice, okay, to a lot of people who cannot articulate these very same things that I'm saying. I'm not the only one who is saying these things, okay? I hear them, I read about them from everybody's posts, okay, and then I just spew them out there because I can. All right, okay, I'm not being brave, okay, I'm actually scared shitless Because, okay, if we don't do this now, I don't think this is ever going to happen again. So, LP supporters, please, I kindly, respectfully ask you, request you to please watch the videos, okay? If you cannot watch anything else, okay, just watch what Duterte's speech was during his Thailand visit, and also the one that he did, okay, during his Myanmar visit. Watch those. Take away the curses, okay? We already know, okay, that he's cursing. Please get over that, okay? That's not an issue anymore. He's been elected, okay? He is our president. He is your president too. Find out where he is coming from. Find a project that you can support. Find a cause that you can support. Go to the events. Go to the activities. Why? We need to tell the world, okay, that we are standing by this president. And we are standing by this president because he is producing results. Look, he is not a politician. Do not align him with those. He is not, okay? He doesn't care about whether you take him out of office, okay? Because his mandate comes from his God, okay? If he is taken out of office, whatever, okay, some of these negative things that are being planned and implemented against him, he doesn't care about that because he has a country to build. And that's what he's doing. So whatever God, okay, allows for him to do in terms of that, and that's what he's going to do. He doesn't care about what you think about him. Okay, so even if you post things on Facebook, okay, trying to disparage the man, he does not care. Get over it. We have a nation to build. Okay, get your asses off the seat. Do something. Bye.